So we're doing a twofer. We're taking on Preston Jacobs, the Red Guard, I guess, and their take on Wheel of Time being canceled. And listen, I had some hopes for Preston and the Red team and the Red people that they were not total grifters. I think they are, but it's fine. Listen, when you become a bigger YouTuber, the grifting is hard to avoid, but they're not vicious grifters. They're not Aaron Smith-Levin. They are not Tommy the Brett Scoville. They're not full-on predators. I want to be very clear. They're doing some shady stuff and often lying and misdirecting and misrepresenting to their fandom, which is, it is what it is. It is what it is. And listen, they actually are very passionate fans. They get a lot right. They do get a lot right. They just give the receipts. And I did this video a few years ago, and a lot of people didn't like it. I don't know why, but it was all accurate. So what happened? Well, basically, Preston and the Red people had a seemingly deep lore problem with the Dune series. And this does not really ruin anything with Dune, but it might reveal some plot details too much. So fair warning, but it was really silly and stupid. And it was really like, that's not an issue at all. At all. So one of the interesting things about Dune is how very detailed it is and how very careful Frank Herbert is. So space travel in Dune is very scientific. So space travel is really hard. So to get around this issue, Frank Herbert came up with the navigators, who are basically these mutated humans who, by taking too much, are mal-shaped and malformed, but they have enough brain power to guide ships through space carefully, because space is very complicated, and you don't have advanced machinery in Dune. You do have it here and there, but you don't have advanced computers. So without these supercomputers, getting through space is really tough and hard, and the navigators are critical. So then they asked the smooth brain question, well, how did the Fremen get to Arrakis if no supercomputers? And, hey, what about the navigators? Because the navigators charge a lot of money. Like the guild, which controls all these things, they charge a lot of money. And the Fremen don't exactly have tons of cash. So they thought, Frank Herbert messed up. And the Red people, those Red lore experts, they got him. But then you think about this 3 seconds, there's not an issue. For one thing, the Fremen go back a long time. A long time. This is a culture and civilization that goes back a very long time. So them taking a huge amount of time to get to Arrakis the slow way, just slowly go on a ship and slowly get there, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So there's no deep lore contradiction, no deep lore problem here. But anyway, they were just being stupid. Anyway, so now let's get to them on Wheel of Time, where I think they're being also kind of like here and there, but at least it's a respectable interpretation. So Wheel of Time for now is gone. And the usual candidate for what happened is the book lovers are like, oh, what happened is they strayed too far from the books. And Amazon is like, we already have Rings of Power. You're costing us a lot of money. So bye. It's that simple. So they alienated the book fans. They lost a lot of their core audience. And even though they do agree that season 3 is very good and it's promising, it's too little too late, basically. Now, this is a very common interpretation among the fandom now, but I do think they added some details which are worth investigating. I think they're wrong, but I think they're onto something. So their case is really twofold. One is that it can't be changing the books. Right, because Game of Thrones changed the books. They changed the books a lot. So did Lord of the Rings. I know a lot of people love Peter Jackson, but he did change a lot. But they were very successful, so it can't be fidelity. You can be unfaithful to the source material and still make a lot of money and get a big audience. So it can't be lack of fidelity. So that can't be the logical analytic reason. Although I think Wheel of Time is a little different, because the Wheel of Time fandom is pretty hardcore. But okay, fidelity itself can't be the thing. And then they say, like, it's a law, and they're getting a lot wrong. I'm not even going to name the thing they got wrong, because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just beating up on them. But they were like, most television doesn't get good until season 3, right? A lot of shows don't get good until season 3. But we're not living in the same environment of the 1990s where you can be given a little bit of time to get better, right? Maybe season 1, season 2 is okay. It will be season 3 that's really going to impress the fandom and get you some hardcore fans. Well, no. I mean, some shows get it good off the bat. Like Angel, the first season of Angel is rock solid. It has a few weak episodes, but for the most part, it's pretty good. It has a very strong season finale. So there are shows, even from season one, that are fairly strong. So that's not true. Now, granted, Angel's cheating a little bit. And let me get to that because it's from the Buffyverse. And this is famous among even fans of Buffy, or will admit, I agree with them that season one is kind of shaky. It's fairly weak. If you just go with season one, you're like, what's the big deal? This doesn't seem like that good. That's true. Season one is famously kind of below average. But starting with season two, what makes Buffy really great, which is usually the core characters, Faith, Spike, so on, they slowly start to get introduced. Like Faith is in season three, but they start giving us more lore with Drusilla, with Spike. We learn more and more about this universe, more about Angel and his past. So I'm more critical of season two, but no, Buffy season two is pretty good. So no, it's not a law that season three is that makes or breaks shows. But I do agree with Red Team that I do think Bezos basically had a mandate that they needed to deliver another Game of Thrones, and they failed. This was simply not as good, as popular, or frankly, as impressive as Game of Thrones. So, bye, bye, bye. And there we are. Is this theory correct? We're going to probably find out in the coming years. We're going to get more information, but I think it's a respectable theory. Now let's jump into Brett and Aaron and their continuing grift, which is much more vicious and much more sadistic and much more dangerous. We're not just talking about TV shows or fantasy fiction. We're talking about real hardcore criminals and hardcore crimes. So they're a little bit more dangerous. So Scoville in his recent post has been like, I'm very sick, guys. I need to take a break. I can't do the Diddy videos. I'm going to have to take some time to rest. I'll be back. Your captain shall return. Now, he's been pulling this trick several times. I'm not sure where he is. Before, it was dementia, I think. I remember he's saying he's dementia. Also, he fell off a ladder. He never showed receipts for that. Did you go to the hospital? And I feel a little bit angry because I have a leg injury from 7 months ago. I did have to go to the hospital. I had to be in a wheelchair. They took x-rays and everything. I have bills for x-rays. So for him to be like, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, even though this guy brags, he has tons of gold watches. He's stolen tens of thousands from old sick women. He routinely rips people off. He steals from his own fans. Oh, I'm sick. Well, I really don't care. I really don't care. And listen, I've had some throat issues even a while back, just like 3 weeks ago, I think. My voice was like really doing terribly. And I'm not going to pretend, guys, where I am with my part-time job is a little bit all over the place. I'm going to have to search for a new job and hopefully get 2 part-time jobs. Hopefully something will happen, but I'm not going to lie. Any little income I can make is great. So, and I've been injured. So I feel for people who have injuries. I really do. Definitely having that knee injury, it's a harsh lesson, but it makes me more sensitive about people in pain. But to Brett, no. Stop pulling this card. Like, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, I'm so sick. Okay. And why should we care? Oh, people are threatening me on the internet. I need to move from Arizona. Oh God, life is so hard. You're a hardcore criminal. You've been committing crimes every decade you've been alive. The only time we're kind of sure that you didn't commit crimes is like ages 1 to 10. But from ages 10 to 20, you're a full-blown criminal. So shut up. You've been a criminal your whole life. So give me a break. Now, maybe I'd feel sorry if Brett at 9 years old. Oh, he's got pneumonia. Okay. But Brett, after the age of 16, if he gets sick, I don't really care. I don't care at all. I hope you get more sick. I hope the sickness gets bigger and badder, frankly. And I really rarely do that, but even with grifters, but you're a rare exception that you're grifting at such an extreme level. I hope I'm on the side of the disease. I'm on the side of the disease on this one. So good luck to the disease. Keep the sickness going. But what is going on with the Church of Uranus? Now, it's a deep irony that the worst thing Aaron has probably done is, Scoville. That he took a predator who harmed a young girl, a 15-year-old girl, and was sent to jail for his sexual crimes. Aaron thought, you're quite a guy to platform. We need you. I need you. Yes, come to my YouTube. We'll make you bigger. Which they did and made the live boat a really cancerous thing on the internet. And this is where Aaron is now, that his recent content has rock bottom stupid. But hey, listen, I'm a congratulator. I'm not a hater. So the only videos that get traction now are his Tom Cruise protest videos. Not that he's protesting with Tom Cruise. No, 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 no. We're using Tom Cruise in the title, but he's protesting with a cutout of Tom Cruise, which isn't even accurate because Tom Cruise is much older. So there you go. Alrighty then, but trying to give the other videos a chance, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like nothingness upon nothingness. Like, guys, in Russia, Scientology is in danger. Yes, we've known about this. Putin has been cracking on in Scientology for years, And I like to brag that I'm a super expert on everything, but Russian is hard, guys, and I'm only recently really making some progress. But whoa, it is hard. It is hard. So now hopefully I can read some Russian media in the original language, but it is hard. But yeah, I've known about Putin's record with Scientology for years. So you didn't say anything. Other deep Scientology news is that Grant Cardone maybe has a cheating scandal with his wife. How's this going to stop Scientology? Oh, it's not. Anyway, so clearly Aaron is not protesting Scientology. He is doing Scientology, although it's his Aarontology, which is just a dumber version of the L. Ron Hubbard type. And you can say many things about L. Ron Hubbard. You have to respect, at least, he is a fiction writer and a philosopher. Maybe one of the worst philosophers, one of the worst fiction writers. The guy's not very talented, but at least he tried. It's like Siskel Ebert, when making fun of some horror movies, said, this thing is getting really stupid. But they had an idea. At the beginning, they had an idea. I think they're making fun of Friday the 13th. No, Friday the 13th is fine. Anyway, but yes, you can say that some Friday the 13th sequels were a little lazy. And that's just all Aaron is. He's just become the Karate Kid Legends. It's just a lazy reboot of his older content and a lazy reboot of that. And it's just like, hey guys, I'm here practicing Scientology with Tom Cruise. Not the real Tom Cruise, because, I'm a hard worker. Because I took a vacation recently, but now I'm crying about children again. For reasons. Oh, but what about the child predator? No, Mike, no, what about Brett? Oh, that's a rumor. Yeah, I gotta go now. I gotta get back to my not the She org, my new org, the Aarontology org with Maryland. Right. So we'll be taking care of predators, but only if they're the enemy. If you're a friend, then the predator is like, predator? I don't know. You gotta go to Maryland. I don't know. That's a rumor. I don't talk. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. Daniel Green is a grifter at 500,000 subs, and Aaron is trying to reach 250,000 subs. And there you go. And the wheel keeps on turning. And there we are.